And this is Arrows and Acres, a podcast for families building something that lasts, with Daniel and Allison Hartman.
Yeah. We're raising up arrows, we're working the land, a husband, a wife, and a God-given plan. And no shortcuts, we're doing this right. Building a family that shines in the night. Arrows and acres, faith, family, home. You were never meant to do this alone. Arrows and acres, let's build something real. Welcome to the show. Let's go.
Welcome back to Arrows and Acres podcast. We're so happy you're here.
Hello.
It's our favorite subject.
Who likes to do chores? I do.
Yeah, we'll just go right into it. And, Proverbs 22:6 says what? It says, train up a child in the way they should go. And even when he is old, he will not depart from it. So your home is a training ground, right?
Share that stat. That literally blew my mind when you were talking about that earlier, about how many parents are giving their children chores.
Well, right now it's less than 30%, about 24 to 28% today of children actually have chores, which is dramatically lower than prior generations.
Oh, dramatically. I can't even imagine what it was like in the early days of America.
We were just talking about the philosophy behind. That's kind of like, I'm like, if are chores a punishment?
Or are they a reward?
I would say a reward, but you ultimately do get a reward. That thinking needs to be changed. And I think
Right.
the point of what we're discussing is the philosophy behind work.
Yes.
Work is, and work stewardship and all these things are so beneficial in so many different ways that we have no idea how, again, civilization hinges upon hard work.
I think,
Working smart, working hard.
Early on, I questioned for you guys, when you were new as parents, was there a moment that you realized your child couldn't do something that they absolutely should have been able to do?
Probably. I think we're all we're repeating our parents' behavior. So there was a lot of
I would
times.
say like a slow reader, like what are we doing as a parent? We're trying to get our child to read and we're struggling with, and every child's different. We've had some that we hadn't even tried to teach to read. Others just.
Right. But as far as chores,
Yeah.
I think when we were early on, we did a lot of things for them because that's what we were raised as doing. And I think the light bulb went on when I love a made bed. I love my bed to be made every morning, but I didn't really enjoy the act of doing it. And so I was trying to, I only had a 3-year-old at the time, a 3-year-old and a baby. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to show my oldest, McKenna, how to make my bed well, exactly the way I want it. And then
praise her.
I'm just going to praise her. And so that's what I did. And once I realized that she could actually do it, it was amazing. I'm thinking, why have I been making my bed all along?
And that she wanted to do it.
She loved
because
it.
She got a reward. Her reward was the praise.
Yeah. Everyone that would
Like,
come
wow,
over
good-
to our house, she would pull them in our room and be like, let me show you the bed I made of mom and dad. She was so, so proud of herself.
So let's unpack for a moment. I'm going to share a key study. Why chores matter, the research. We gave a stat just a moment ago, but Harvard did a study. It's one of the longest running studies on adult success ever conducted, the study. And it said its 2 biggest predictors of an adult thriving. You ready for them? Loving relationships and doing chores as a child. Not GPA, not income, not talent, chores. And so that researcher
Well,
found,
loving relationship was first.
Yes.
Too. I mean, that's that
absolutely critical, right?
Rules without relationship leads to rebellion.
So that's why chores matter.
And if only 30% of parents are taking advantage of that
we're creating a
70% of parents
culture
are missing
of
out.
number 3 workers.
Yeah.
And this was the last part of that key study. It said participation in household tasks starting at age 3 to 4 is the strongest predictor of success by age 25.
Interesting. And a lot of parents don't even think you can start giving them chores until they're 6, 7, 8, 9. You're completely right. The beauty of those younger years, they're so excited to be doing something. So we're going to get into this episode and we're going to talk about practical numbers of
And to
what.
do an adult task is even cooler for a child.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're so proud of themselves to be a part of that team. And it'll amaze you what they're capable of.
So what do chores actually accomplish beyond the task? What does it teach children?
Diligence.
That's good. Work ethic.
Yeah. Participation. They're part of a team.
Yeah, and honestly, when we do the chores, again, the idea of a loving relationship, it's getting buy-in, and I'll just describe a typical family meeting. We have a task, we have to leave for a trip, we have to get ready for church, we have to whatever. Everyone sees the benefit of it, but we need all to participate and not to slack and not to try to get out of work, and then to hold them accountable for this. And then as they're doing it, as we're going on the trip, as we're doing church in our house or whatever, they're taking ownership of that. They're not just a passive participant that's there in the hotel room just waiting, or they're being our children are not to be entertained. We're not rearing children to give them lifestyles of the rich and famous. We're giving them a skill that's going to hold our family, our world together.
So what it looks like in our household is, and good communication is important. You've got to let them know your expectations and let them know what you expect out of them and then have follow through. One thing that I get a lot asked is the kids will come and say, "What can I do?" Okay. I'm sure every parent has heard that. What can I do to help? Because we've taught them to do it. Recently, one of my most common answers is, I don't know. What can you do? What should you do? What needs to be done that you do best? Instead of giving them the list, the answer of what, okay, fine, go do this, go take out the trash. You're getting them to think like a business owner, like an adult. Well, she just asked me to go through the house, come up with what needs to be done, do inventory, tell me what actually still needs to be done, and then tell me, what is your gifting? What are you the best at? And what will you take off our list? A lot of mine are older now, and so we have a family chat. So I'll put on the family chat, hey guys, this is what needs to be done today. What are you willing to do of that list? And a lot of times they're even running family meetings for me. I'll have the 16-year-old because I'm busy doing other things. Because again, I only do what only I need to do, what only I can do. If my 16-year-old can run the family meeting and I'm in the middle of doing podcast or we're photographing a school and they're not there, there's no reason they can't run the family meeting and say, okay, guys, this is the to-do list for today. Solomon, you're 10. You're on this project. Annalie, you're on this. You need to get dinners made. Whatever that needs to be. But I'm even raising that bar even higher. And instead of just giving them the list, I'm making them work for it. And so for our life, I've tried every chore chart that you can imagine, right? Just like every other mom out there. We've got our stickers, we've got our chore chart, we've got our needs to be done. For a family our size, we have 11 children, just nothing has worked except we have given them a chore for life. So we go through the biggies and we'll say laundry is a biggie. With a family of 13 and lots of grandbabies in and out, laundry is a big deal. Dishes are a big deal. We do not have a dishwasher. In fact, we have 11 dishwashers, but they're all manual. Dishes are a
They
big
don't
deal.
make a dishwasher that can
No.
actually handle.
We've tried. We've had a couple dishwashers in 28 years.
Well, I got a
None of
commercial.
them
I
have
got a
lasted.
commercial one. That was about the only thing that was, it still runs now. But even
And
then, it
it's
was
too much trouble.
Yeah, I had to go to the other side of the house to use
Hand
it.
washing
I
is
had to design it in the house in order for it to actually be
and
used.
it never gets it as clean as it does. Just wash it by hand, teach children how to wash dishes. So laundry, dishes, floors swept and mopped. We have a tile floor. We don't have any carpet, but those tile floors, we have a sand volleyball court. So we're constantly having children come in with dirty feet. We have a pool. So we're having wet bodies all the time.
And the towels that
So
constantly.
yeah, we've made our house very commercial so that it doesn't have to be, we don't have to be fragile about it. It's very used, but there's a lot of things that need to be done to keep it up. And so we go through the big chores. We assign those to, I would say, the big people. And the big people would be 11 and up. And you're in our house, if you're 11 and up, you're going to get the big people job. You're going to be in charge of making the meals, doing the dishes, and making sure laundry gets going. I don't necessarily want the 5-year-old divvying up all the laundry because I don't really want all my clothes coming out with crayon all over it, which has happened. But then there's lots of little people jobs. I am a big believer that little people, meaning a 3-year-old, needs to have adequate jobs because if they don't, they literally just get missed, especially in big families. A lot of times you're divvying out chores and the little ones don't really have a chore and they become very quickly lazy. And I'm saying this from experience. I've realized, wow, that child's already
They're
5. We haven't given him a job
they're
yet.
experts at getting out of work,
Experts at getting out of work. So
and that is not good for them
be intentional.
or for the family because you're like if older sibling is in charge, then what happens is they're frustrated,
Yeah.
and then everybody gets frustrated. So, and really, in that sense, okay, we've got to teach the older children how to be a servant leader, and they need to. And it's full circle. It's again the one room schoolhouse scenario where the older one is working hard and then motivating and encouraging and doing it not in a way where it's discouraging the younger. So it's these life skills that are very, very important later on to.
So I thought it would be helpful to maybe lay out what this looks like. For a mom who this is foreign to them, I'll just kind of break it down. Now, remember, imitation and comparison is the thief of all joy. So to try to compare your family to ours and match it up exactly it's not sustainable. Our life is very, very different. But yet you can use some of these principles and relate them to your own family. And so we'll start at the youngest. And then the fun part about chores is that your children can age out, right? So eventually you are going to age out. Now, my big people, their chore is for life or until they get married.
We have changed it up a little bit.
Unless you want to pay a sibling to do your chore. And that's fine too. I'm okay with that. Some of mine are old enough to where they're carrying full-time jobs. They don't have time some days to get their full-time job done. They can pay a younger sibling to do it as long as it's done well. And that teaches them responsibility and delegation, which is a really important thing to learn. But when they're 3, they are completely capable of making beds, taking out the trash in the bathrooms, not necessarily we don't have a garbage can by the road. We have a dumpster. Dumpsters are a game changer. If you have 5 or more children and you don't own and rent a full-size dumpster, change your life and get yourself a dumpster. Cancel the garbage can.
In your state, y'all have to take it to.
Yes, one of my sons is in charge of loading up his truck and taking it to the dump.
Yeah. So we just go get in our RTV and we drive across our yard and dump it in the dumpster. But a little person, so a 3, 4, 5-year-old, perfect job for them is taking out the trash in the bathrooms. So we have 3 bathrooms. They go and gather it all up. Some of the bedrooms have little garbage cans. They can dump that. That's a good job for them. But teach them diligence. Don't just say, dump the garbage and then throw the can back. Sometimes those cans need to be washed out. No reason they can't do it. Another job, we have a refrigerator in our bedroom. Game changer. Parents, go get yourself your own little mini fridge. It's in the corner of our bedroom. It has our specialty drinks. These things will be gone if you keep them in your big fridge. Have yourself a special little tiny fridge in your bedroom. It's been the best thing ever.
We keep them in my office.
Okay, yes. Sometimes we hide treats in, your underwear drawer, wherever you need to have it, that no one knows where it is. But my little 5-year-old has been cleaning out my mini fridge. It's an easy job. She gets a little bucket of water. She gets a rag. She takes everything out of the mini fridge. She cleans it up. She has so much fun. She spent all day getting all the ice buildup out of there and just had a blast. And I said, are you going to throw the ice away? And she said, no, I'm going to eat it. I said, okay, go eat that ice. Perfect fun job for her. She's 6 now, but she has been making my bed for the last couple of years. She loves making my bed. She is so funny. She'll take the fancy pillows and you guys probably don't know about this, but women love decorative pillows on beds. I understand.
It's a disorder.
It makes no sense to men, but women love decorative pillows on the bed. The more, the better. And he loves taking them and chunking them off the bed at night. But my precious 3 and 4 and 5-year-olds,
I have to get in the bed.
They put those pillows on there and then they do the karate chop and it gives the little crease in the middle like they do when they stage beds. Yeah, it's a thing. And so my older children taught her how to do the karate chop and it makes the pillow look super cute. It's her job. It's her thing. She owns it. What are some other things a 3, 4, 5-year-old can do? They can reorganize cupboards. Very easy. Take it all out, wipe it all down, and then put it up with like things go with like things. So all the bowls go together. It's funny because I don't even remember doing this because I haven't done it in so many years. But you teach them how to do it once, they'll do it forever. And then they train their siblings down below them. So those are some things. I don't probably give them a lot of like chemical related chores, cleaning out toilets, that kind of thing. That's saved for 7 to 10-year-olds. That's perfect for them. But 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, they can do anything just that makes things look pretty, makes them feel a part of things. Great job. Going and gathering eggs. Great job for a 3, 4, 5-year-old.
Chicken bin.
Take a bucket, take it out to the chicken bin. Take your chicken bin out, gather eggs. There's no reason any mamas and daddies need to be gathering eggs unless they enjoy it. If you enjoy it, go for it. 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds. Obviously their chore level is high. They can strip sheets on your beds. They can remake your bed with clean sheets. They can sweep bedrooms. They can sweep. They can mop. They can possibly swap laundry. In my house, I would say that for older children because we have too much laundry that gets ruined if we let the little ones do it. They can Windex mirrors. They can clean windowsills, baseboards. They can wipe down walls. Of course, they're not necessarily tall enough, but they can get a chair and they can wipe down walls. They can
We're not training slaves here. This is with a purpose. The reality when you're in a business and you're looking for workers and 90% of the work is done by 10% of the people. That's crazy. 10% of the work is done by 90% of the people. So as an employer employee, the value of what we're talking of, like of 20% of the children that do chores, according to this study, it make is it's just direct sign of success and doing well in life. I mean, again, this isn't it's not just a list of chores. It's stewardship, it's responsibility, it's building future, it's building values, it's relationship of doing it alongside them and having, this all this going on and being a part of something. And when they're not part of something, they don't really feel like they're connected. And when they're not connected, there's not buy-in. When there's not buy-in, they just say like, "See you, mom.
Well, and when you're doing
See
chores
you,
as
dad." As they get older, like just okay. I think they can cut you off because you don't have a relationship.
when you're doing chores as a family, if you're not having all age groups participate, what do you do with those children when you're cleaning house? Well, typically, the easy thing is to give them a device and say, go watch this show. Yeah. And I mean, guilty. I've done it. Here, we're very specific. We do Superbook. We do Leapfrog, which he doesn't even love that. Letter Factory. He loves Superbook. But that is a great tendency to hand the little ones a show to watch while you're cleaning. But I'm telling you, the rewards of letting them be a part of it. Hey, come join me. Let me show you. Guys, you're raising your replacements. Eventually, you don't want to be doing all these things by yourself. Going back to the 5 to 7-year-olds, they can do dishes. They can clear dishes and they can put dishes away after dinner time. And they can help make mini sections of the meal. Some people might not want to give their 5 to 7-year-old a sharp knife. That's fair. But there's no reason why they can't, do other things prep for making the meals. Feed the pets. No parent, unless you love it, needs to be feeding your goldfish. No parent needs to be watering your plants. No parent needs to be feeding the dogs. That is something a 5 to 7-year-old should be doing. Folding towels. Towels are the best things for little ones because they really can't mess it up. You're teaching them how to fold in sections. If you want your towels folded in thirds, well, then teach it to them. They can do it. Okay, 8 to 10-year-olds. Now, these lists of chores that I would say most people would be okay with, I probably changed the age because I'm big on teaching them earlier. But generally, an 8 to 10-year-old should be able to load and unload the dishwasher. We don't have a dishwasher, but there's no reason an 8 to 10-year-old can't wash dishes, dry dishes, and put dishes away. An 8 to 10-year-old should be able to sweep the floors. Now, I wish we could do a whole video on how to actually teach how to properly sweep. Most adults don't know how to sweep properly. Sweeping means you don't just sweep around things, you move the things and sweep under them. You move the entire couch to sweep. 8 to 10-year-olds need to know how to do this. How do they do it? Well, you got to teach them. You got to show them. This is how you properly sweep. Now show me how you do it. Perfect. Okay, you did it great, but let's do this better. And then eventually your 8 to 10-year-old's going to train your 6 and 7-year-old how to do that. Basic food prep. An 8 to 10-year-old should be able to, do most of the things kitchen related. By the time they're 11 to 13, unless, Mom, you love cooking dinner. If you have an 11 to 13-year-old and you have not gifted them the refrigerator and the kitchen responsibilities, you're missing out. By the time my 12-year-old was 10, we gifted her the refrigerator. What does that mean? We gave her the fun responsibility of making meals for our family. And our family is not small. We have 11 children. Our grandbabies are constantly here for meals. So Annalie's responsibility, and let me remind you, she loves this job. This is not a chore. This is a fun thing that she gets to do. Her job is to make sure the refrigerator's stocked, it's cleaned out, the meal prep is done. That means she makes the list for what we're making that night. She makes sure when we go to Aldi's or wherever that those ingredients are bought, and then she does the meal prep.
Again, you're building ownership, and our children feel a part, and they have buy-in just simply because they're involved. So this is not a punishment. This is something that builds family unity and structures them to have such a great success
She's so
later
enjoying
in
it.
life.
She's making a recipe book because she's made so many meals for our family. She's making a recipe book and going to sell it. And this is when she was 11 years old. Okay, 11 to 13-year-olds should be able to cook meals. They should be able to do laundry from start to finish. So that is sorting your laundry if you're a laundry sorter. We're not laundry sorters. We're a dump and go and pray for the best. They should be able to clean bathrooms thoroughly. That means cleaning behind the toilet. That means lifting up every section of the toilet, cleaning, not just a wipe and go. That is deep cleaning a bathroom. They should be able to do yard work basics. They should be able to mow and rake. Now, if you have a tractor, you need to be more careful. You do not stick a child on a tractor without shoes on. Obviously, that's a safety issue, but you should be able to train your young boys that they should be able to do that. And
Yeah,
then
and if you do have equipment, I know we don't allow like our TV or other equipment to even be run while they have friends over. Because
yes.
I mean, I cannot tell you how many times we've had it loaded down with 10 children hanging off and a 5-year-old's driving. Like, imagine what could go wrong.
Not a good idea.
Yeah, so just shut
So
it
the
down.
next age bracket, I think, is 14 to 18. Grocery planning completely. Again, I would probably bump that to younger years. Cooking full meals, I would bump that to lower ages. Managing the family schedule. Guys, this is a big deal. I think a couple podcasts ago, you talked about some basic core things that children need to be successful in life. And one of them was time management, managing a household. How many young people do you know that don't even know what their family's schedule's like? I've asked young kids that we do pictures for, what do your parents do for a living? They don't even know, let alone what the daily schedule of your family's household looks like. Your children should know that schedule backward and forward. Not only that, they should be managing that schedule. Hey, mom, just so it's Wednesday. I've already figured out what we're doing for Sunday lunch after church. They should know that. Again, it's creating buy-in, it's creating teamwork. They should be able to manage and help with your budget. If you're not asking your children's input on what you do with your family budget, you're missing out. When we have family meetings, we're talking about, hey guys, we just made this amount of money during our spring photo season. What do we want to do with that money? Who do we want to bless with that money? What do we want to do to reward ourselves with that money? Obviously there's money that you're going to spend on bills, but there's extra, hopefully, by the end of the day that you're saying, hey, let's bless this family. Let's go buy ourselves a vacation to wherever. And then, of course, one of the biggies is overseeing younger siblings. This creates ownership and leadership. If you're not letting your children learn how to delegate, then you're just creating robots. You're just creating that slave mentality. It's like the light bulb goes on when they realize that they are able to delegate their chores away to where eventually they can get married. We always joke, once you teach that other child to do it, then you can get married. Obviously we're kind of joking, but when our girls got married, the reason we were able to transition and not be like, panic, we can't even function because so-and-so got married. No, they've already trained that younger sibling to be able to take over their chores.
What happens on a day when one of or two of the siblings are missing in action? Maybe they got pulled away from something, maybe they're sick, but there was a monkey wrench thrown in that day.
Yes, that's good.
How do you pivot?
Yeah. What?
Just somebody's got to take that chore. It's pretty simple. It's somebody does it.
Yeah.
I'll step up and do dishes or just make sure it's done.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the teamwork mentality. One of the things I hate hearing out of children's mouths is, "It's not my chore. It's not my turn to do it. I didn't make that mess."
Yeah, and that's the reality too, is that you have
Yep.
to clean up after yourself, but that's not thorough. That's why there's a
Yeah.
lot of work that needs to be done.
Yeah.
As much as that is done. I'm gonna go over a few verses. Proverbs 21, the plans of the diligent lead surely to plenty, but
Mm.
those of everyone who is hasty surely to poverty. So the perfection with speed, that is the small business mindset, or just if somebody's really good, but they take like a long, long time, and that's not good. That's not going to work. So yes, it has to be done quickly, fast, and perfect. The soul of a lazy man desires and has nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made rich. In all labor there is profit, but an idle chatter leads only to poverty. So stop talking, get to work. Talk is cheap. A little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall your poverty come on you like a prowler, and your need like an armed man. And whatever you do, do it heartily as unto the Lord and not unto men. Therefore, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God. We have an audience of one, and that is Christ. That is our Father God. And everything that uh, we're doing it as unto the Lord. Whatever you do, whether you eat or drink or whatsoever you do all to the glory of God. We put that on our shirt for work. He said, or take pictures, do it to the glory of God.
I think
Whatever that is.
a lot of it is mindset. I have a very vivid memory a couple years ago. My children all went and stayed with grandma and grandpa for a week for VBS. Not a huge fan of VBS, but I am a huge fan of our children
Oh,
getting to
grandpa.
spend time with grandparents. But anyway, when I dropped him off, I assured my mom, "Don't worry. You don't have to feel overwhelmed," because she had all my littles. She's later in life, and she even had one of the grandbabies. So she had, what, 8 children, 3 to 13.
So don't dread them coming over because you have so much extra
Yeah,
work.
so we just
Then
said, "Mom, don't
yeah,
get stressed. I am
they
giving you
all
my
know how to
2
do everything.
biggest helpers. I'm giving you my 11 and 13-year-old. They can run a household. You could almost stay in bed the whole morning. And when they say it's time to go to VBS, they will have everybody ready. They'll have the breakfast made, they'll have the kids dressed, and they'll have your house clean." And she said, "Oh,
And
I
if you
don't want to,
set the bar, they'll do it.
I don't want to
It's
make them do that. They're on vacation. I want them to have fun this week and enjoy themselves. And they do a lot of work at home, and I want them to just take the week off."
They're little slaves at home. We can't.
Yes. And so at the end of the week, I went and picked them up and I said, "How did it go? And, were they a big help to you, Mom?" And she said, "Well, I didn't make them do a whole lot. I wanted them to really enjoy their week."
I think she stopped them from doing.
Yes.
I
And
think
so I
so
think
they would have a
her
time
intentions,
off, so to speak.
her intentions were to give them a break. And I really think she thought that that would be a reward.
Well, they would enjoy it.
And so when we got back in the car, I said, "Girls, how was your week?" And they said, "Well, we had a great time at VBS. We enjoyed spending time with grandma. It was great, but it wasn't that much fun." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" They said, "Well, we didn't get to do anything that we like doing." And I said, "What do you mean?" And they said, "Well, we didn't get to make dinners. We didn't get to make breakfast. We didn't get to clean up. We didn't get to help fix the kids."
Meaning they weren't allowed in the kitchen to help make food.
Because that's my mom felt like she wanted to give them a week off. And it just hit me. And I even told my mom this later. I said, "My girls really want to be helpful. They enjoy it." And she said, well, I didn't want to give him any chores. In her mind, she felt like chores were a punishment. In my girls' minds, they felt like chores were a privilege and an enjoyment.
Being a part of the family.
It's all about how you sell it to your children. If you guys are using chores as punishment, it is going to be a drudgery. If you are using chores as a way to build teamwork, to build camaraderie, to build adults, it should be when your 18-year-old leaves your home or whenever they get married, running a household should be baseline. That is not a high bar. They should be able to run a successful home by the age of 14, in my opinion. And it's possible. It's absolutely possible.
And they're losing out because they don't have the satisfaction of being a part of the meal that tastes so good. And everyone says, wow, this was a great job. They're losing out on the reality of a harvest in the vegetable garden and in the yard work of like, wow, that yard looks so amazing. Man, those fruit trees are getting so big, and look at the fruit hanging over, so much fruit on it that the branches are breaking. They planted it, they pruned it, they fertilized it, and they're receiving the reward of and they're a part of it. So it's just being a part of the family. You're not gonna lose your children because they're a part of something.
Right.
And when they're not a part of something, then, well, yeah.
It's such a sad statistic that so many families are losing their children by a certain age, say 18, 19. They're leaving the family by droves. And this, like he said, it almost gives you that upper edge to ensure that they don't want to leave you because you've invested in them. You've given them so much time spent. It doesn't mean if you've done that and you've lost your child, you did something wrong.
And
There's other influences that can affect that.
it's a fun life, and we play hard and we work hard, and it's all our reward and all our spending time together.
Yeah.
Well, as we close this episode out today, I'll read a quote and you guys can have the finishing comments. This is from Tim Keller. He says, work is not primarily a thing one does to live, but the thing one lives to do. It is, or should be, the full expression of the worker's faculties, the medium in which he offers himself to God. So the opposing is that work is not primarily a thing one does to live, but the thing one lives to do, like your daughters, like your children. They want to do these things.
Right.
Yeah, and work must not be that bad of a thing as we're describing here, guys. And you can see that men especially, or a woman with her house, the woman wants to make her house a home, a haven of peace. The man wants to find identity in their work, and I do this for a living, or some this or that. I mean, historically, this is something that is a very positive thing for the family, for society. It should not be a punishment.
Yeah.
It should be a reward, and something that is the diligence and the stewardship of doing it, and the lifelong benefit of success by seeing a job well done is forever.
And if this is a new concept to you, if you're listening and you've really never thought of this, it is not something that should make you feel like a bad parent, make you feel burdened. This should be a message of encouragement, a message of hope, a message of freedom. This is such an exhilarating idea because it can revolutionize your parenting, your family. It can free up so much time. It's literally one of my favorite things to do is to watch my children own things. You should love your life. You should love your work. I know people go to work because they have to. They don't enjoy their jobs. You go to any vacation and you see people on vacation escaping their reality, and it breaks my heart. I look forward to going on vacation, but I look forward to coming home. I love my life. We love our job. We love our business. Our
It's so
children love
sad.
doing what they do.
It's so sad. Just like she's saying, to see people on vacation that just like want to just check out and they're like dreading going back home because their life is so miserable.
Make your life something that
And,
you
and
love
really,
doing just as much as vacation.
and really, it goes back to the programming of what life is all about, and work being fun, and work being a reward, and seeing the success of the diligence,
Yeah. Yes. Make a plan.
prosperity, the
Make a
blessing.
plan. Look through your home, see what needs to be done, and then figure out your hotel staff how you can make this home run more.
And have fun and do it peacefully. Children of God are peacemakers.
Absolutely. This has been a very practical episode today, and we have more episodes coming up, right?
And more practical things from our newsletter and our monthly posts. We're excited about telling you about that.
So be sure to subscribe on our your favorite podcast channel. And if you haven't joined our community newsletter yet, head over to arrowsandacres.com and click that subscribe now button, and you'll be alerted when our next podcast drops. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.
Every arrow takes aim, every acre takes work, every covenant kept when it hurts. Keep going, keep building, you're not on your own. You're planting a harvest, you'll one day be shown. Arrows and acres, faith, family, home. You were never meant to do this alone. Arrows and acres, go live what you heard. See you next week.